Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Scrap Mechanic. In the previous episode we built a multi-level elevator, and today it's time to take care of my resource collection. The past few days I've been drilling with crappy vehicles. So what I did here is I prepared myself a little trailer with 2 resource collectors. We have a refinery and a chest in the end. Now, considering the height of the vehicle, we are probably not able to collect the resources. That is something I will have to think about, maybe by bringing these down a little bit. But essentially we have our hookup solution right here with a temporary block. This would be the block that I'm welding to the bearing of the actual driving cabin. This is what currently exists of the driving cabin. This, of course, shall be the trailer in the end. Now, approximately a week ago, Robenschild joined my game again, and he actually built this machine. I want to show you that before I actually take it apart. I'm gonna need some components from that. But this is a double wishbone suspension, and it is just crazy. I think if I remember correctly, he took the idea from Khan Gaming, who is quite a famous scrap mechanic YouTuber. Now you can already see the beauty of this suspension, and furthermore what this can do is actually raise the suspension to be a little more off-roady. Of course this is gonna give you a little more top weight, but yeah, you can see it's working phenomenally until it actually flips. We're not gonna get into that design though, because I don't currently understand it completely, and of course also because it's not really an invention we did. Well then, in this case, I would suggest we're gonna start building the cabin. We're gonna need at least 4 wheels. Actually, let's bring this over and we're gonna take the materials we need. Thinking about it, this construction doesn't necessarily need to be fast, and I also want it to be resource efficient, so I don't want to waste tons and tons of fuel. I don't think in our particular design a piston engine is gonna do, because I'm gonna need several speeds and I'm also gonna need a clutch. So we probably are gonna set up a 3-speed controller system with a clutch. In order to do this properly, I think we're gonna need at least level 4 controllers for each bearing set. So that means 4 bearings per controller, and that would make 12 bearings for the total speed. I have to say, 12 bearings is a tall order for just 2 wheels. You know what? I think we need to test this out. Let's place 12 bearings down and see how that actually reacts. Maybe we'll have to put in some stabilization blocks every now and then. In order to put that to the test, I started with 8 bearings. Well, at least that seems to be stable. Yeah, you can see this is not stable. So we need to make a different construction for this. I believe one easy way would be to use suspension. So it might seem like a glitch what we're doing now, but I think this is a legitimate way to do it. We want to have more suspension, so I'm gonna need at least 2. Let's see, we're gonna go with 2 sets of suspensions in between the 3 levels of gears. Oh, we ran out of water, and I also have almost no burning forest wood. So what I'm gonna do at this point is just present you with the idea how this is supposed to work, and then I'm gonna figure out how I can implement this into one single contraption. Though I have to say, I wonder a little bit how I can make the suspension while using a gear system like we are now. Okay, there we go. We have our first 4 bearings in place. I'm gonna use this controller in order to keep them in place and also rotate them eventually. Then at this point we, for instance, want a T-junction in order to combine it with a different piece of the framework. So this could also go into the other direction here. And this is so we only have 4 bearings until it is being stabilized again. Now the problem about this, how do we take the momentum we already have, the rotational momentum, into the next level? And this is where we probably want a different pipe here. Maybe I can find something that I can use. Yeah, this is what I want, a 4-way pipe. We're gonna place that right here, for instance. Then we need curved pipes. They should be pointing forward, something like that. Then we want to take our 2 suspensions we made, place them right here and there. After that, we want to take some more blocks, just like so. We want to make sure that we weld these together. And I think I can't do that on... we are not on the lift even. Okay, actually looks they got welded together on their own, which is nice. But essentially, at this point, we now have a rotating thingamabob, and we can use the momentum to continue. Then at the same time, I could use, for instance, this block in order to attach it to the frame. So this is definitely not the final shape, but you get the basic gist. I attach this to the frame, and this can actually rotate through blocks. And this is why I mentioned it is potentially glitched. So just in order to test this out, I'm gonna give this some momentum. There we go. And you can see we now have the rotation. However, we have a perfectly stable bearing on the other end. This way we will be able to stack multiple speeds. In the end, we're gonna have a gear system that is attached to the rear wheel axle. So we'll really have to observe how far we can take this before the actual driving cabin gets too long. Yeah, let me complete this concept with an actual working design. I'm gonna be right back when we can continue from there. Alrighty, I think I came up with a design I'm satisfied with. I decided to only go with 2 bearings for the first gear and then an additional 4 bearings for the second gear, and the third gear we're gonna build together. I just wanted to show you the functionality. Here we have the first gear, and then over here the second gear, and then hopefully with the third gear we can make this contraption really fast. So let's get to it and I can show you how exactly I did that. This pipe construction here I only built so that I can attach it 1 more block back, and it also looks nifty in my opinion. So let's get to it. We want an additional 4 bearings with another controller. I decided to go with level 3 controllers. They have a decent speed but don't go too crazy. Dude, are you freaking serious? Is this really necessary? I'm explaining something here. Alright, with that we have 4 bearings that we want to hook up to a controller, but after that we want to place a 4-way intersection pipe. I want this to go up and down. We're gonna use a little corner pipe here and at the bottom. And then this would be where we attach the next suspensions. We're gonna need a bearing right here that is just freely rotating without any controller attachment. Let's see, do I have a level 3 controller still? No, I guess we have to place this one and upgrade it. Gonna put this last controller right here. Do I have 6 upgrade kits? No, okay, we might have to grind for a couple of them. I haven't taken apart this tower next to my base for a couple of days. There should be something in there again. Hello guys, how are you doing? Anyone? Hello? What's up with you? Okay, I didn't mean to insult you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Please leave me alone. Oh no, I didn't mean it. If I survive this, I'm gonna show way more respect in the future. Huh, what a bunch of pussies. Uh-oh. Let me finish this, please. Thank you. That's always the funniest part when they roll down. Oh no! My despawning method doesn't work. I accidentally built another connection tool and I placed it in this chest so it might despawn the next time. But apparently that's not what's happening. I just can't get rid of this tool. Jeez, this is the 3rd garment box I'm getting from this. What can I get rid of? Obviously I didn't consider my inventory. Wow, this is insane. I got 1 single component kit from this entire tower. Kill like 10 robots. But no. That means we're now missing 1 component kit. Oh my gosh, don't do this to me. I just need a little teensy component kit. Okay, going back into the burning forest, we can collect some wood from here, but also there's another tower we should definitely loot. Oh my gosh, okay, never mind. Don't kill me, don't murder me. Oh my gosh, what is going on? I need the freaking spot gun, man, it's time. I got my component kit, I'm actually happy with that. I'm still gonna collect a little bit of wood before we're gonna make our way back, and then we should be able to continue without having to grind materials anymore. I mean, at least for today's contraption. Ah, home sweet home. Controller level 3, thank you very much. This is gonna allow us to hook up all 4 bearings, and I think they should already be rotated in the right direction. We want to set the second setting to 360 degrees, full speed, loop, and now we need a button. Gonna have that bad boy right here on top of the controller. Is this hooked up? Okay, cool. Let's test it out with all 3 speeds. This is speed 1. You now have to imagine, you know, over there's gonna be a wheel attached, and then we have speed 2. And finally, we have speed 3, which hopefully is going to be fast enough. Now, speed 1 is probably going to have the most torque since we're using a gear system. But essentially what we need now is a T intersection. Could I actually go with that one to finalize it? That might be good. Gonna attach this like so. Gonna attach 2 large pipes to this, and I guess we have to put it up on the lift. Gonna finish the frame like so. And last but not least, we have to weld this together. Let's grab the last 2 suspensions. Fortunately enough, I already crafted them. So you go here and you go there, and all we have to do is now combine this together, and this is gonna be our gear system. So now we can go into the 3rd stage of the build. And we also now have an estimation how long our driver's cabin is going to be. Alright, we are back with the next step. I attached a piston to the end of our contraption, and then I made a gear similar to what we had a look at in the previous episode. Now I just realized instead of this thingamabob, we're going to need another suspension, because I want to be able to extend this piston in order to engage the clutch or disengage the clutch. If the piston is retracted, of course the clutch is disengaged. But I still want to have enough stability so that it is actually hooked up to the frame right here, where I also have my suspension system. It's gonna be a little bit complicated, I think. Now, I don't think I can attach a suspension to a bearing, and I also don't have enough materials to craft another one. Let's actually see if the stuff respawns so we can collect some more oil. Nice, looks like we're lucky. I'm taking that. There we go, I got my suspension. Let's go ahead, attach this, then we're gonna attach the suspension, one additional block, and we should be able to weld this. Now we simply need a way to interlock with this gear system, and I think what I can do is simply attach something here. Let me think about this. We probably want to start here, then take one straight. Then at this point we probably want to turn around, take a 6-way pipe. So that's gonna go right there. Then we want to take a curve. Now actually on the upper and lower slot we don't want to take a curve but a T intersection. So something like that. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a horrific scenario. Gonna add a round pipe here, another round one there. That is actually perfect. Seems like everything is adding up. So as soon as we interlock the gears, we should be able to switch the rotation. Anyways, now you can clearly see how the gears are supposed to interlock as soon as we push this piston a little bit forward. We will then be able to take this rotation and put it on a wheel, but on the other side, unfortunately, it's a little bit more complex. There's no convenient way for us to take over the rotation, so we're gonna use the same trick as with the gear system. We're gonna attach 2 suspensions in order to take over the rotation. And if we do this correctly, we might even be able... Oh, no! Wait for me! Oh, this is so funny sometimes. Just stop it. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, if we're lucky, we can attach the wheel right here, but no, we're not lucky. So I guess the best we can do is combine this together into one single piece. Yeah, take this T intersection then, like so. Make sure this is welded together, and then here we can attach our wheel. So now we only have to make sure we have a similar distance. I think this is 1 block too far. Yeah. So instead I want to attach one of these pipes and then one of these pipes, and that should be perfect for the next wheel. Do we still have one? No, not from this truck. I want to attach that right here and we should be golden, right? This should be functional. Now we only have to attach like a button to this. I mean, it looks all connected, and in my mind it is kind of working. Okay, the suspension might not be working this way. Thinking about it, but all we would have to do is just expand the frame and take away these blocks that would potentially get in the way. But let's do the testing first. Let's attach the seat for the time being right there. Next up, I'm going to need yet another switch for the clutch. This means we have 4 switches. I want to make the clutch number 1 and then slots 2 through 4 to do the gears. I'm gonna attach the clutch button right here. This is simply going to the piston, I guess. So we want to make that number 1, then the first gear, the second gear. Wait, that's not the first gear. The first gear was right here, then the second gear right there, and third gear. Okay, I built a little frame to keep this up, but we can still do the testing. Let me zoom back a bit. Okay, engaging the clutch seems to be working nicely. Let's do first gear, second gear, and third gear. Wow, that is actually pretty fast, I have to admit. Now we're gonna do first gear and engage the clutch. Okay. Let me actually have a closer look at that. Oh no, I'm such an idiot. I forgot to hook up a bearing here. What was I thinking? Oh no, this is a major mishap. Why did I have to do that? Let me see what happens if I remove this pipe. No! We can reattach it, guys. It has to be. So bearing right here, of course. Otherwise, we cannot rotate stuff. And then we attach this thing to the bearing and everyone is happy. So first gear, clutch, and there we go. Okay, the gear system isn't too good yet, or we have to increase the stiffness. Yeah, the suspension stiffness should definitely go up. You can see it's already a little better. Yeah, so now the problem is that the gear system isn't interlocking well enough. We might be able to prevent that by adding the bigger pipes. So instead of these guys, we're gonna attach those. Let's hope that has a good effect. Okay, still not interlocking well enough. Let me come up with a gear design that actually does the job. After dealing with the gear systems for approximately 10 hours, I can say, at least in survival, it seems to be a little bit of a different physics, but it just doesn't work with so many moving parts. It's just too much, and it's also lagging a lot. But I tested every freaking possible gear design, and I'm just wasting so much time. I think until they optimize this part of the game, we will have to do something else and just use a normal engine maybe. It is a little bit disappointing, but what you gonna do? There we go. There's the interlocking, and well, that gear system is not working well. Let's try to do that again. So do that, and you can see it is kind of working, but it is lagging a lot. Also, I think I should lower the suspension a little bit so it interlocks even better. You can see this is kind of working at the moment, but as soon as I hit the higher speed... Anyways, this is probably the most reliable configuration I came up with, and I'm not so sure. It's still not incredibly fast, and you can hear it. It's going nuts at certain points. We can disengage the clutch and have nothing running in order to come to a stop. At the moment, I didn't take care of the backwards gear, but I'm honestly considering just going with fuel for the time being in order to save my frame rate. You can see, at least we have a somewhat working system here. I'm still kind of tempted to at least test it out before we scrap the entire thing and move on to the engine. So I guess what we want to do in order to achieve that is maybe attach a suspension here. Did I just... Oh no, I just broke that link. And of course I didn't really take care of my food and water anymore. What you gonna do? Sometimes you just have to starve. We're gonna need yet another suspension, but we're first gonna attempt it with that. Is this the same level? I think so. And thinking about this, we also want to turn this around. So let's actually bring this one higher up. This way we can first attach a bearing, like so. Maybe add a little pipe, and afterwards we can do the suspension. Gonna need a bearing and a wheel. Do I have... Yeah, I still have 2 wheels. Add you right there, and that theoretically should work, though it's gonna be hard to turn around with this corner. Finally, there we go. Got my last suspension. Time to attach the wheel. We want to make sure we hook this up to the driver's seat and turn around the bearings so we can steer the car. Moment of truth. Are we ready? Engage the clutch and drive. For some reason these pipes seem to get into each other's way, so I'm gonna do it slightly differently. Just expand this a little bit and then add the big pipe right here. Do a little turnaround and then hook this up. This is already hooked up. Gonna do the same thing here on the other side. There we go. All hooked up together. Nice. Now the first gear is working again. Okay, let's drive. Drive! Let's see, suspension maybe... Yeah, I have to lower the suspension a bit so the gear can interlock better. Okay. Yes. And now drive. Drive. Drive! I mean, it does look considerably more stable, but I think we have to work a lot on this gear, and I'm not sure I have the patience today. What if this was simply longer? Does that help? And also longer here. I mean, at this point, I'm doing stuff again that I've already tried before. I've tried different gear designs, but maybe you still have a better idea. I still want to try to do that. I mean, that is supposed to work. Over and over once more. Come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we might be able to do something with that, but you can see it will sometimes be skipping the gear. But if we get this to work today, I'm gonna be a happy man. Engage the clutch. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now the suspension is going too crazy. Look at that. I wonder what happens if we got rid of the suspension completely. Let's try that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And the bearing. Now engage the clutch. Okay, that might be a little too far, but you can see the piston is giving way too much. Look at my guy. Woohoo! Yeah, I fear the suspension at this point is just absolutely necessary. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work. Give me that block. Need to attach that to the suspension. Hook that up. And now it's just a question of how hard the suspension should give way. And of course, we have to die a little bit first. Okay, this is actually not bad. I mean, this is probably the best it has been working thus far. I can also turn but I'm getting a little bit of a weird effect from my rear suspensions. So my assessment after all this time with the few mistakes that I made, it's probably not worth the trouble. I want to quickly try something else. This is now hooked up. Let's get rid of the suspension for a bit. Wait. I knew this wasn't attached. Yeah, we gotta attach these two bastards. Nice. We're also suffering from very low ground clearance, but you can see this bearing, for instance, is just freaking out. Alright, I'm gonna put this to the final test for today, and after that I think I'm just going to revert back to another design. This is actually not what I wanted to do today. I was just expecting this to work after all my testing. I mean, sure, it's not the exact design I came up with. I just see that this suspension is not supposed to pull in like that. Maybe that is gonna help a bit. Yeah. What I wanted to do is the ultimate mining vessel that I also already planned out, but you know, first we need a working car. So let me just start one more time, then we're gonna test this one more time, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and record another episode where we're gonna do the actual content that I wanted to do today. But I guess it's also sometimes good to go through the entire thought process of what is actually happening, and I'm definitely gonna make use of this gear system in some way or the other, but maybe not on moving vehicles. Alright, before we start one more time, let's hop in here and engage the clutch and run the car. Oh, look at that, now it's going through again. It's just completely ignoring this. Oh man. Oh yeah, you can also see I swapped around the gear design so that we have a little bit more ground clearance. But I guess that didn't really do a good job for us. In this case, I'm quickly gonna reattach these pipes, even though I know that is gonna make things even buggier. But this way we should at least get a little more torque. Yeah, there we go. Now we probably have to adjust the suspension again. Yeah, looks like it has to be a little bit stiffer. Okay, nice. Just one last test before wrapping up this episode. We are gonna attach those bastards. It's not like I'm trying this for the first time, but hope dies last. Okay, last attempt with the big pipes. There we go. Oh, that is actually working nicely with the first gear at least. Let's enable the second gear. Come on, come on. You can do this. Yeah, it's skipping quite a lot, but I have to say, at least it is not laggy anymore. And then the third gear is just going insane. Maybe this entire design would work if we had no clutch, you know? Because I see the biggest problem right here with the suspension that is always retracting. So what we could do is skip this piston and just continue. And we also want to skip the suspension. We want to reattach the gear right here. Man, I really wish I could make this work today. Attach this and we should be good. Okay, so now it is a much more stable system because there's no suspension giving way. That means we have no more clutch. However, this might be working a little bit better. Let's see if that is actually true or not. It does work better. I mean, we have now more torque and more speed. Let's do the highest speed. Oh my gosh. Alright, I mean, it does sound crazy, and it is also going a little crazy. But dude, at least we're driving, and we're having 3 different speeds. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna let it come to a vote. I'm gonna record another episode quite immediately, but let me know. Do you want me to see through this gear idea, or do we just skip that and use a fuel car? But what I know for sure, whatever you say, I'm gonna construct this off camera, and the next time we are taking care of an awesome mining solution I attempted to build in creative. With that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today. I'm sorry I wasn't so successful. I mean, in the end, at least, we had a somewhat working system. I mean, I knew it was finicky, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.